How's it going, guys? Diego from SGN back with another edition of Mortal Monday, and I want to apologize right off the bat for how bad the lighting is. Unfortunately, I had another extremely busy day, so I didn't have time to film all afternoon, and it is what it is. I'm trying to give you guys content every Monday and Friday, and these are some of the things I have to deal with. So the video today is all about what I want to see in the online portion of Mortal Kombat 11, and I'm still hoping that there's going to be an announcement tonight at E3 at Sony's press conference. There's still a little bit of hope. I don't know how likely it is, but I'm holding out on the hope. And the video I want to talk about today is a short one, but it's about the online modes. And it's short because, to be quite honest, I don't play a lot of online in general. Whether it's a shooter, a fighting game, anything like that, I don't tend to play a lot of online gaming. And that's for two reasons. Number one, I have extremely garbage internet, which means, I have to deal with, on average, on an extremely good day, 6 megabyte download speed, which is just atrocious, and 0.40 on a good day upload speed, which basically means if I'm trying to play in any game that doesn't have perfect servers, I'm going to have extremely bad lag problems. And the other reason is, quite frankly, I enjoy single player games more with story mode and stuff like that. Probably a lot of it has to do with the fact that my online connection is just so bad. But I've always preferred playing single player games with a great story. And Mortal Kombat definitely fits the bill. But there's no doubt that the online portion is very important, especially nowadays with the tournament scene being so strong and people having to have a way that they can practice against other, competitors and other high-level players. So there are some things I want to see coming to the game, even though I won't necessarily be using it as often as probably a lot of my viewers. The first thing I want to see is the return of King of the Hill, and I think this is probably a given, because it's obviously the most popular mode that they've had in the last two games, and it is, in my opinion, the most accessible, because whether you're good, whether you're bad, you can actually interact with people in a different way than just joining somebody's game, fighting them, and then going your separate ways. In this way, you can not only fight against a lot of different people in one single environment, one single lobby, but you can also watch the matches go through. So after you fight somebody, let's say you get your ass beat, you can then watch that person who won fight the next person, the next person, the next person. You can really understand what they're doing and possibly build up a strategy that way next time you go play against them, you have a bit of an idea of what you can do differently, and gives you a lot of improvement because you can see what different people are doing with different characters, learn different matchups, really improve. And if you are going to go to do something competitive in a tournament, something like that, something local where you're not going to be necessarily taking on people at the highest level like you'd possibly go against in the online, then you're going to have a big advantage because you know exactly what weaknesses your character has against certain matchups and what advantages you can have against certain characters. And that's, in my opinion, the coolest thing about King of the Hill. And obviously, if you can get a lobby a bunch of with a few of your friends mixed in with some other randoms that we don't always go against the same people, then it's definitely guaranteed fun. And in my opinion, it's probably the best mode online in any fighting game I have ever seen. The next one I want to talk about is improved factions. Now, I really love the idea behind factions in MKX. The execution was just very, very poor, and there were some positive things about it. I just think that they need to vastly improve on that to make it really relevant and to make it the mode that it could really be. I love the fact that you do join a guild, whether it be the Link Way, the Special Forces. I think the Black Dragon was also there, and there was the Shaolin. I think those were the four. Anyway, in my opinion, that was really, really awesome. I love the way that they did that. It's just that the implementation wasn't very, very solid because it basically turned into this month or this season, everybody's going to be piling on to one team. This month, the Link Way is just full of people. They're going to go out there, gain a bunch of points, get the achievement that they want, or get whatever the prize is for that month. And then the next month, everybody goes and they join the Special Forces. So it was pretty cheese in the sense that if you did join a team that wasn't full of other people, you're probably going to lose, and actually you're guaranteed to lose because there's only enough time in the day for a certain amount of people to play compared to so many other people just even playing casually throughout the day and getting so many points. So in my opinion, if they can really improve factions, improve faction battle mode to make it a bit more important, make it a bit more relevant to things, maybe even have it set up to where it's a tournament and then sort of make it more competitive, you know what I mean? Have it obviously having modes for casuals or having modes for people that having modes for people that aren't as good quite like myself, and then have the specific mode for the people who are a bit better, a bit more competitive, and have it really, really team-based going into something towards an online, championship type of thing. And this kind of leads me into another thing that I kind of was going to put on this list, but to be honest, I never really indulged in it in MKX, and that is team battles. I really love the idea of a bunch of people joining in, having one single lobby, 5 people on one team, 5 people on the other, and then going at it. But the way this thing kind of worked is there was basically 3 or 5 people on one team, 3 or 5 people on the other team, and then everybody plays at the same exact time. I like the idea, but I think the execution was poor because, in my opinion, they should do something kind of King of the Hillish. Like, they have a bracket, all right? Let's say I get mixed up with somebody else, and then my other teammates get matched up with other people, of course. The first game is me against the other guy that I'm playing against. We play against each other, and everybody watches it. Have sort of like a spectator mode like in King of the Hill. That way, my teammates are seeing what's going on. All right, then my next teammates do their game, the next game, etc. And then as the tournament goes forward, I'm facing whoever went past on that side. Obviously, it's kind of hard to do because of the fact that your teammate might win and stuff like that. But I like the idea of, like, if you move on, you move on, and then maybe, like, depending on how many people won or something like that, maybe not change it too much in terms of, like, have it like a best of if there's 5 people, basically the best of 5 matchup, like whoever wins 3 moves on. That I like the idea. That was what it was in MKX, but in my opinion, they need to add spectator mode. Is basically what I'm trying to get to. Add a way for all the people to actually get involved in it, and not just basically have 5 people in a lobby on one team, 5 people in another lobby on the other team, and then just go at each other, and whoever wins the most wins. I want to actually be able to see what's going on in the other games, and really, I think it would make it a lot more interactive, and it would make it a lot more fun, and just give you an extra reason to play, because you're not just there doing single matches, you're actually there, and it actually feels like you're a team trying to push towards something. The next thing I want to say, and this is probably the last thing I'm going to mention on here, is tag team mode. And in my opinion, like I've said in quite a few other videos that I've done so far, like my gameplay features and stuff like that, tag team mode is extremely important to me going into MK11. Now, if you saw what they did with MK9, it was phenomenal. It was, in my opinion, if not the most fun mode to play, then definitely number 2, because they had so much variety to it. Obviously, the idea of combining different Mortal Kombat characters in the same team, there's so many options, especially because MK9 was such a great game to play. Like, the story, a lot of people complain about it. It's not my favorite story because they did kind of make a lot of odd decisions based on the actual MK lore, or the original MK lore. But from a gameplay point of view, that game was just perfect. Everything about it was so awesome. It was so fun to play, and every character really felt unique. And it was just such a joy to mix people up and see what teams actually worked the best and see what teams were garbage. So in my opinion, if they can bring that over to online play in MK11, and yes, I know that MK9 did have online where you and somebody else at your house on the same console could go online and play against each other, but I want to see it be to where basically, like, if I'm at my place, my friend's at his place, we want to get into a lobby, play on the same team, and really go after people competitively as well. To really do that instead of just having to, no matter what, being pretty much sitting on the same couch playing the game and going against other people. Like, that's cool. I love that type of stuff, but you're not always able to do that. It's not like every single day you're hanging out with your friend, especially if you're an adult. Like, once you basically pass 18, you don't exactly hang out with your friends like more than once or twice a week unless you're lucky. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. You have only a few days of the week that you can actually have time to hang out with your buddies. So if you don't want to sit on the couch and play next to them, and go online, maybe you have like 30 to 45 minutes, you both get on the line at the same damn time, and you can play the game and just go off on people, go off on some fools, team up, and don't always have to be beating each other up. That's the biggest problem. Like, for me personally, I'm not a good fighting game player, but I'm way better than everybody else that I play with that I actually know. So it just always becomes me beating them up, and there's really no fun in that. There's no fun in that whatsoever. So I like the idea of being able to team up with a buddy, going online or going against a computer, whatever, and playing against each other. And in my opinion, there's nothing better than having a buddy that you can go online with competitively and see how far you can go as a team, because that's a completely different ball game than just single stuff. Like me, if I'm playing as a single by myself, basically 1v1, I'm going to get beat up by a lot of people. But if I play with my boy Corrado over there, and he's a fucking monster at these fighting games, if we play together, I know for a fact I'm going to go pretty damn far. I mean, he's a beast, so if he can carry me, we're going to go somewhere. And I'm not bad. I'm not, like, atrocious, but I'm not good either. So together, I know that we can go farther. So in my opinion, tag team is very important to this game, especially from an online point of view. And in my opinion, if they do add that, it's going to be a very, very, very hard, it's going to be very, very difficult to say that this isn't the best Mortal Kombat game, at least online, especially with the fact that they are improving the netcode. Now, I was going to put this on the list as well, but realistically, they've already guaranteed it. So I'm hoping that they will be there. I guess I could technically put this on the list, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to make it a top 3. But the netcode is very, very important. And based on what I've heard, this is going to be a very, very solid game from a netcode perspective. The first Mortal Kombat game to really launch with a solid netcode. Like the MK9 with a really, really poor netcode. MKX, it wasn't great at first, but it definitely got really, really solid as time went on. And if they can carry that over to MK11, it's going to be extremely solid, extremely fun to play, even for people like me who don't have good connections, and that's very, very exciting. So that is it for this video, guys. Let me know in the comments section down below if you agree with the things that I mentioned. Do you like my list? And also let me know in the comments what you want to see Is there anything else I didn't mention that you want to see in there? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed it, please smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. I would also love it if you could hit the notification bell. That way every time I put out a video, you'll get a notification and you're one click away from watching the video. And regardless of all that stuff, thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video.